And in my mind, in my head,
Hello everyone, this is Ivan, and today I bring you a combination video. This is going to be a 2-for-1, which will include my monthly favorites for the month of July, as well as an updated makeup routine. I know that I did upload a very basic initial makeup routine, and I uploaded that a while ago, so I'll go ahead and post the link down here if you want to check that out. And I have since incorporated a couple more things into this routine that I would very much like to show you and share with you right now. And along the way, I'll go ahead and cover, like I said, the favorite products that I've tried for the month of July. So if you want to go ahead and take a look and see which products I liked and how I use them into this new routine, then keep on watching. I'm going to trust that the lighting here in my bathroom is going to be good for you guys to show and follow me with all the steps that I go ahead and take. The first one is prepping the skin and priming. I've tried a variety of primers in the last months. I tried the Smashbox one. I also have the Professional by Benefit. But essentially what priming means is just to have a nice moist surface for your skin to really absorb all of the product that you're going to be putting on your face, and it just doesn't sit on the top of your skin. I know that some people don't like priming and some people do. Since I don't have any particular primer that I'm currently using, I'm going to be using this. This is by the Face Shop, and it's the Neo Classic Homme Black Essential Toner. This is just a substance that provides a really nice surface for you to work with. It hydrates your skin and it moisturizes it a little bit, just so it doesn't feel, you know, overly dry after, you know, following it up with your routine. So all you have to do is squirt a little amount on your skin, and then you just pretty much apply it on your face like that. And you want to make sure to get it all over your skin, everywhere that product is going to go. And it just pretty much preps the skin and gives you a nice nourished and moisturized surface to start out with. The next step in my routine is pretty much evening out the skin tone. This is pretty much just to avoid having any color difference in your skin and making your skin look as even as possible. For this, I use my go-to BB cream. This is the L'Oreal Magic Skin Beautifier BB Cream in Light. And basically what I just do is just shake it up a little bit and pump out a small amount on my hand like so. You pretty much just go ahead and use this. But what I'm also going to do for you guys, since this is something that I've been doing very often recently, is to pump a little bit of this foundation. And this is a sample of the Hello Flawless Foundation by Benefit. This is a little bit more on the yellow side. This is not really my skin tone specifically, but it actually helps to brighten up my complexion, especially if you go like in this area where you want to highlight, or when you want a little bit more of light to hit on your face, you can go ahead and use it. And to apply all of this, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. small stippling brush. This is a very nice brush that is very affordable, of course, as any other products by e.l.f. And it just gives you a very nice even application of the product on your skin. So just go ahead and take the product like this. It actually looks like a little fried egg with the yolk and everything. So just go ahead and mix it up a little bit on your hand. And once you load up your brush, you can just go ahead and stipple this all over your face. I usually stipple first, and then I go and blend, you know, with a stippling brush and with a little wedge, a sponge wedge or something like that. So you just go, I usually go like here first, since this is going to be mostly where the light is going to be hitting my face, and then I usually go on the forehead. And since I'm growing my beard out, I really don't need to go all the way down, since the beard actually kind of, you know, gives you a little bit of difference on the skin. You just go a little bit around it. And then I usually save up a little bit on my hand, you know, to go around my eyes if I want to double this combination up a little bit as a concealer. But once you go ahead and stipple this on your face, it's time to go ahead and blend in circular outward motion. Just so you can go ahead and blend the product evenly. And don't worry about getting any brush strokes at this point. You can always go ahead and soften them up with the sponge wedge in a little bit. once you go ahead and have the product like semi-blended on your skin, you can go ahead and pick up the rest of it. I usually do it on my hand. If you have like, you know, a little petri dish or something like that to mix up your product, you can go ahead and use that. But on my hand, it actually seems to be a little bit more easy for me. You can go ahead and go with that product all around your eyes. You know, it's really important that you be gentle with it, just so you don't pull on the skin of your eyes that tightly. I know it looks a little bit weird because you can still see a lot of the brush strokes right now, but we're gonna go ahead and go over it with a sponge in a little bit. Okay, so once you go ahead and finish buffing the product all over your face with the stippling brush, you can go ahead and just take like a small wedge sponge. This is actually the one that I'm currently using, that's why. Pardon, it's a little bit used, but you can just go ahead and just blend out the foundation a little bit further, especially around your eyes. You don't want there to see any streaks or anything. Okay, so once we have the product already blended out and really well distributed around the skin, it's time for you to go ahead and use your concealer. If you have any concealer or need for a concealer after this, you can go ahead and use it. Sometimes, depending on whatever day I'm doing this, sometimes I will need it, sometimes I won't, especially around the under part of my eyes. Sometimes I really get really bad dark circles, but if this doesn't take care of it, you can go ahead and use your concealer. Currently, another favorite of mine is going to be the NYX concealer, photogenic concealer actually, and this is in the tone, in the shade Light. This is one of the concealers that I've been trying out this month, and it's given me really good results. It's actually brightening if you want to go ahead and brighten up your cheekbones and stuff like that. But what I usually do, it comes with a little wand. What I usually do is just go ahead and give like a nice stroke like that underneath my eyes, and then I usually take the stippling brush again, and I usually go around all over my eyes and redistribute the product all over it. So. And then you kind of go ahead and do like a triangular stroke like this, so you can get some of that concealer on your cheekbones as well. Another thing that you can also do is like go down your nose a little bit. We're going to be doing this later. And also in the center of your forehead, kind of trying to get a little bit of that concealer that was left over on your forehead as well, especially in the middle and down your nose. We're going to be redefining the nose in a little bit, but this is also useful to add a little bit more brightness onto the face. Once you go ahead and have the concealer on like this, then you can go ahead and take the sponge again and just lightly dab onto your eyes and everywhere else that concealer went, just so you can set it and make sure that it just looks as airbrushed as possible. Once all the product has gone in your face so far, you know your concealer and your base. It could be foundation, BB cream, tinted moisturizer, or whatever. It's important for you to go ahead and set all of the makeup with powder. Currently the one that I'm using, and I talked about this in my last month's favorites video, is going to be the Palladio Rice Powder. This is in translucent, and I remember telling you guys about the mess that this packaging actually causes. You basically just tap it like this and hope that not all of this product goes poofing out of the container, but I don't think the light is going to be there either. That's pretty much what the powder looks like. And with a regular powder brush, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. face brush. You pretty much pick up some of that product and tap it off a little bit on the container, just so you don't cake your face with this. So.
In my head, and they keep telling me to let go.
A good tip that I heard from some people on YouTube that I've been watching is to not try to conceal using powder. You know, you want to go ahead and use the initial set of products, your concealer, your base, your foundation, and everything, to try to minimize the appearance of all like little imperfections or stuff that you want to go ahead and conceal or cancel out. You want to go ahead and do it with the product before you actually powder it on. Powder is meant to just pretty much set everything in place and make it like fix it on your skin, just so it doesn't move or, you know, slip around and stuff like that. So this is pretty much a routine that I had already covered up to this point in a previous video, but right now I'm going to show you additional steps, you know, that I've kind of implemented on my daily routine like that. At this point, my face tends to look a little bit too white, so I've kind of gotten into the habit of adding a little bit of color, and I do that with this bronzer. This is by NYX, and this is the matte bronzer in the shade medium. And what I usually do with this is I just go with it down the sides of my nose to pretty much define the nose and kind of make it a little bit thinner and narrower, if there is such a thing. My nose is wide as it is. And also the sides of my face. You know, I don't really do that much contouring. It's just like adding a little bit of shade, you know, and shadow to my face, just to pretty much bring out, you know, like the area, like the cheekbone area right here, and the nose and the center of the forehead. I'm gonna go ahead and start out with the nose, and for that I'm gonna be using the contour brush from this set by Real Techniques, and it's also part of my favorites from I think the second to last month. So what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and go over it into the bronzer and top out a little bit of the excess, and you want to go ahead and go down the sides of your nose and up almost into the eye socket with the brush. And you can see a little bit of the definition already right there. So what we're doing is pretty much just creating a shadow that's going to recede the side of your nose and bring out the center of your nose and pretty much make it a little bit more light. So once you go ahead and have the bronzer on your nose like this, you can go ahead and blend it out. You can use the same brush if you want. And you want to be careful not to add that much product, because then the color will like overwhelm your nose and it won't look as natural. Because this is like the aim of this. This is not theatrical superstar makeup. You want to go ahead and make it look as natural as you can. And then you can also take another brush. This is also from Real Techniques. This is going to be the buffing brush, and you can go ahead and buff out the bronzer a little bit further. And there you go. So now moving on to the sides of your face. This is the part that I've actually been working on for a little bit now, because I don't like for it to look very, very defined, since I don't have that many defined features. Like my face tends to be more on the round side, so I really don't need to like chisel out my jaw or anything like that. So what I usually do is, again, I take the bronzer and I go twice around with the brush and tap off the excess. And what I usually do is like I try to go like all over this area right here, going up towards this part, and I just do like very light circular motion like that, and then I really start buffing it out. And then right now, since I have the beard, I kind of take some of the bronzer and bring it down and try to bring it like really, really close to the hairline. And try to bring it up a little bit, just so you can see where it actually starts and where it actually ends. You can also try making that fishy face, like, you know, kind of try to suck in your cheeks to see where that product is going to go and where it's going to create the shadow. I really sometimes do it. I just try to not do it like very pronounced. But all you have to do is like remember to go ahead and blend very, very well, so that you can see where the product actually starts and you can't see any lines. So yeah, I guess that my lighting is not professional, of course, you know, I'm doing this in my bathroom, but you can pretty much see a little bit of the difference between the definition. Like you can see a lot more of the shadows that the bronzer is creating. And the goal is to go ahead and get your other side to be the same. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so after buffing in the bronzer on the sides of your face and on the sides of your nose, you can pretty much just see a little bit more of definition right there. I don't know, I guess the lighting is working for me this time, so you can see a little bit of the definition, and it's just a warmth that is added to the face. You really want to go ahead and replicate the sun and, you know, tanning and stuff like that, so you really want to see a little bit of warmth added onto your face. What I do sometimes is like also recommended when you contour, whenever you want to go ahead and add color like this to your face, is to go ahead and go on your forehead and pretty much just go around this area right here, which is where the light usually hits. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that since this is gonna be the full thing. Right now it looks like really splotchy, but once you go ahead and buff it out, you'll see a big difference with this. So I decided not to warm up my forehead that much because I really don't see the point for this tutorial, but I just wanted you guys to see pretty much how I do the bronzer on the sides of my face. It's really important that you gotta go ahead and connect these two areas right here if you're doing the bronzer on the forehead. And also pretty much pay attention to your face shape. You also want to go ahead and consider that to pretty much see where the bronzer is going to go or where your highlight is going to be more prominent. You want to go ahead and take also that into consideration, and also learn your face, you know, learn to see which product would go in what place. So that would be pretty much the thing that I would do with the bronzer. If I wanted to go ahead and highlight, I would go ahead and use two products that I currently have. The other one is over here. It's a small, tiny sample of High Beam by Benefit, and what this is a liquid highlighter that is more like kind of pink tone. But I also use this little stick right here, and it's a dual concealer and highlighter. What I usually use from these two is the white part, and I usually just go ahead and apply some of this on the cheekbones. And you can go ahead and smile if you want to, but I usually just go like this on that part right there, and also like on the center of my forehead. Really just do like a little bit. I really don't do that much. If I can, I bring it down on my nose like that. I try not to do it that much because since we're gonna be buffing it and blending it in, sometimes it messes up your makeup already or your concealer already on your nose, so you don't need to do that very harshly. But after that, I usually just take like a little tiny amount of the High Beam concealer, the High Beam highlighter, and I usually just go a little bit with it onto my cheekbones and forehead. And then I've tried blending with brushes, I've tried blending with a sponge, but I find that using your fingertips is more than enough for this step, so it's pretty much up to you, you know, what you feel comfortable using. I really don't mind using my fingers at all, so this is pretty much the time that I use them to blend out and kind of distribute the product all over my face. Usually with the one on my cheekbones, I kind of try to bring it up to my, did I say that right? Yeah, your brow bone. Where your brow bone is, you want to go ahead and also try to highlight the highest points of your face so that when the lights hit them, it makes them stand out a little bit more. So here we go. If you don't like the way that it's kind of being blended out, or if your face is getting a little bit out of control, you can always go back with the sponge and just blend it out with that. And that also helps with the streaking and with making sure that everything is blended out. Finally, you can also bring out the face brush again and kind of just go over it. Just making sure that there's no extra product that could actually smear or go anywhere it shouldn't. So there we go. That's pretty much all of the product that I go ahead and put on my face, you know, to achieve this look. I really don't do much anything else. The next steps, you know, are completely optional. I usually finish with setting spray, and the one that I've been currently using, and pardon the lopsided, misshapen bottle, It's going to be the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. I usually just do a couple of spritzes on my face just to pretty much set the makeup and make sure everything is blended and make sure that everything stays fixed on my face. Just like that, and like with any setting spray, you know, pretty much what this is that moisture again to your face and make sure that all the product and everything that you put on your face pretty much blends and melts together, and it just doesn't go every which way. So you pretty much just leave it on your skin and wait for it to dry, and then we'll move on to the last step. Once the setting spray pretty much dries out, you know, and pretty much clears out from your face, you can go ahead and take the additional step of curling your lashes and applying mascara. I know that this is just, you know, additional into any kind of makeup routine. I mean, I know some guys are really not that into curling their eyelashes or doing anything to their eyes, but this is just pretty much to kind of get a more polished appearance, if you will, and I really do it just, you know, just to get a little bit more definition and just not to have your eyes look like they weren't taken care of. So I usually just take the regular eyelash curler, and I usually just try to get in there as close to the lashes as possible and squeeze. And for mascara, I mean, I really don't have any preferences. Another one of my favorites for this month has been this NYX Provocateur mascara. What I really like about this mascara is that it has two modes. As you can see here, the one on the top is called Infatuation, and the second one is called Obsession. And what this is pretty much the same one, only it just picks up, as you lift it, you pick up the product once and then twice. So with the Obsession one, you pretty much get a bunch of product on the wand, but when you pick it up with the top one, which is the Infatuation one, you pretty much get a little bit less product. And this is just recommended, according to them, with the mascara for like definition and for your bottom lashes. So I usually just do a coat on my top lashes, and that pretty much takes care of everything that I really like to take care of. Some people recommend that you get like really close to the root, especially if you have one that picks up a lot of product, and you can double it up like an actual eyeliner. I don't do that. I just do this pretty much a good coat all over the lashes. So that's pretty much it, and that is how the eyes look. And pardon, my eyes are kind of red right now. You know, they tend to be irritated all the time, but that's pretty much it. So that's gonna be the end for this small or long, I don't know, makeup tutorial. This is the first time that I ever do something like this for you guys, and I really hope that I can get some feedback from you. If you would like to comment or criticize or correct any of the steps that I just covered for you, please leave me a comment on the comment box down below. I really like to hear constructive criticism. If you're a hater, I really have no time for haters on my channel, so your comment will be ignored and probably deleted. Or I'll let anyone who wants to reply to you do that, but hopefully I'll get some useful comments and suggestions on how to improve on this makeup skill or makeup tutorial. Like I said at the beginning, I'm really not a makeup expert. I really just do this just pretty much because it fits me, and I kind of tend to think that it works for my routine. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you like and comment on this video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.